2 years that it shows up on public records, but way beyond that. Okay, I found it. All right, and they just transferred the name a little bit, changed it around, did a few things like that. Anyway, they've owned that property for a while. Inside the house, underneath the bathtub, was a septic tank that they made. Okay, they dug it out, hollowed it out, and they had the drain that comes from the bathtub and the drain that comes from the sink, and something else. The toilet seemed to be hooked up, and I don't think it couldn't have been hooked up all the way because of that. But anyway, this was flowing into a giant hole. It had sand in it, different from the dirt, and it was, like I said, hollowed out. All the drainage from the bathroom, and it would slowly drain into this big giant hole and wick out all the way out across the yard through the power lines. That's where the power line was laid. It's a French drain. Now, I didn't know that and until we had the flood. We had a flood in, I've got all the dates, but we had a flood in, it's a big one in April, and Hassan and Mohammed and Sami and it's another one, Hussein. They all knew it. Babaki, yeah, they all knew it, and they did nothing. And I fixed it myself, cleaned it up and everything. But this one was bad. This flood happened in June, and it was really bad. It pumped sewage through the walls. I've got video of it too, real nice. Sewage through the walls and across the floor, and then it went right straight out to the back through the what do you call it? The slats, the panels, the sidings, the siding of the house. You know, the wood siding. Yeah, and so underneath the bathtub, all that where it was normally sealed was nothing but black water sewage. And that came out and leaked out, and it was just everywhere. We came home to it, and I left the washing machine on, and I think I drained the bathtub. I take a bath every morning, and the washing machine was on, and we just left for a little bit. I've done that before, and no problems. Came back, and the whole house is full of sewage. Your guys did nothing. Nothing. Zero. They refused. I sent them letters. I sent them pictures. I've got full documentation on everything that was done to get them out to help. They didn't do anything.
Did you have insurance?
Sorry?
Did you have renter's insurance?
Now, renter's insurance is a moot issue. You know why? There's no certificate of occupancy on that house. Never has been. No certificate of occupancy on there.
How did you pay them for rent?
I paid them every month.
In cash and check?
Checks.
So do you have documentation?
Absolutely. I have everything.
So when you moved in,
when I moved in, I took a month. I'm a professional. What I do is I do high-end specialty projects. For instance, if someone, and I work in high-end places, I work in pretty much nothing but, multi-million-dollar houses, multi-quadrillion-dollar houses, and places like that. I do things like I'll grind the floor down to make the concrete look like terrazzo, and that's what I did there. I leveled the floor, ground it down, smoothed it, polished it, and made it just nice. I sealed up. I've got allergies, so we went and I cleaned everything in there, every surface, cleaned it, sanitized it, sealed it, you name it. And then I ran ozone generators up in the attic, and had oxygen machines to bump that up, and fogged it. I was very diligent as far as putting this together. Like I said, it took me about a month, a little over a month. It was 16, 18-hour days.
who knocked the drywall out in the bathroom?
Sorry?
Who knocked the drywall out in the bathroom?
The sewage knocked the drywall out in the bathroom.
The sewage did.
Yeah, what happened was there was a mild earthquake. It was a pretty good earthquake, actually. Just before there, it was in the end of May. The end of May, you can look it up. But there was like a little earthquake, And I noticed that the toilet and a couple other places were leaking some water. And it would come and it would go a little bit, you know, and I noticed, I'm like, oh, what the hell is that? Couldn't really put my finger on it. And but when the sewage came, when the big spill came, there was several of them, and there was like 4 or 5 different floods that happened there because the toilet backed up, and I had to hire a guy to fix all that and the whole 9 yards. But when that came out, every pipe in the house, every pipe in there, was leaking inside the walls, and I sealed the walls up really good, and I used really good stuff to do it, and professional grade materials, and I went up and I sealed everything. So the walls, when this water started coming out underneath the tub, it was a septic tank. They made it on purpose, and they knew about it. The plumbers came. I've got plumbers reports. Where they said that the septic or the pipe was actually skewed.
Why did you call the property manager instead of taking matters to your own hands and calling your own plumbing guy?
What makes you think I didn't call the property manager? Why would you say
I don't
that?
know. I'm just asking you a question. I didn't assume anything.
Okay, well, I did call the property manager, who promised me to come out. That's Sammy Masri. I've got the phone records for that, and I've also got the stacks of emails and the stacks of text messages. What Masri told me was this went in there is why don't you just die? He said everybody leaves when you have sewage coming out. I know, I rent in many places, and when sewage comes, people leave. Well, here's the problem. Here's what you went and saw the wreckage, but here's what maybe you need to know. That place was rented for a commercial enterprise that was going to take place 3 times that year and a couple times in the next year. And that was going to be for an art shows. Going to open the whole property up and let the public come into the house, the backyard and everything, to the gardens, and see the art shows. We had things built for, concerts and what have you. I had it cleared with the city. We spent a fortune.
Did you put up a chain link fence to block the driveway?
Yes, I did. I put that up, and then I requested. Now, I put that up. It was a while back, but I put that up, and I requested from the sheriff to put that chain link fence back up because someone had knocked it down, and I've been out of the property for about a month now, but the fence got knocked down, and what happened was I called the sheriff and I told him to put it up. The reason is because the entire backyard is totally occluded and with penicillin, it's aspergillus niger. That's a fungus, and that is created, that creates aflatoxins. It's deadly. It's really dangerous back there. I had the fire department back. Everyone who's gone back there for any time has gotten ill effect from it. It's gone into their chest, everything, etc., etc. But now it is 100 times worse, 100 times worse than it ever was. And the reason it's 100 times worse is because the city health department, who works very closely with Sammy, and they're very close, they shut the water off. That's how they brought me some help. And this was in July 23rd. Same day you were there. They came and shut the water off. I couldn't finish. I was remediating the soil, remediating the other stuff. Now, when you go back and look, you'll notice that everything in the property has got this fungus on it. It's black and it's voracious. It's a human opportunistic pathogen. It's the most cancer-forming thing known to man in the whole world, and it's everywhere. But except
when you left the property, did you remove all the blinds?
The blinds.
Yeah, the vertical blinds in the living room.
The vertical blinds in the living room were in the back. Yeah, that was for the draperies. Now,
got to look at this file first, and based on what we have and what information you provided so far, and see where you want to take this file. Do we want to look into it, or do we just kind of move on with this claim?